Hi, Ricardo. Happy to see these new essays from you. Let's get right into this correction, okay? It's about copyright laws. Here's what you had to say. The issue of the real value of copyright laws in our modern society has been increasing since the advent of the internet, please. Okay? The main aspects regarding the subject are what kind of influence such laws exert in the emergence of new contents, and how the current society would be affected if it did not exist. This essay will discuss both of these issues using examples of Supreme Courts and YouTube to demonstrate points and support arguments. All right, very nicely done. Firstly, it is widely assumed that copyright laws play an important role in protecting and guaranteeing intellectual property. Furthermore, it is considered a reward. Okay, not it is being considered, but it is considered a reward for the inventors because it protects their ideas with specific rules and regulations. A recent survey launched by the U.S. government, indicates that plagiarism and piracy decreased 30% after the implementation of the agreement of, the implementation. How about this? Just after the implementation of copyright laws. I wouldn't even have said of the agreement. Therefore, these regulations stimulate the creativity for new ideas and protect the idea's creator. All right, that's nice. Secondly, the society functioning would be affected directly if copyright and patent infringement were permitted. It would occur because such administrative laws establish rules and regulations for consuming, uploading, and exposure of a number of different types of content, I believe is better here. YouTube, for instance, without allows the disclosure of videos after signing an agreement, I think would be better. After signing an agreement. Therefore, it is common sense, not a common sense, but it is common sense that these laws give tremendous contribution for the current society organization. This is a little awkward as it's phrased. I like the idea, but you just need to phrase it a little more naturally. To conclude, copyright regulations are crucial not only to avoid patent infringements, but also to stimulate creativity. It is predicted, careful, by the U.S. Supreme Court, that the emergence of new rules is needed in order to guarantee patents and organize society in this new and promising field. Okay, so let me just say a couple words about this essay now that I've read the whole thing. I like the first body paragraph quite a bit, but this, for me, had some issues in terms of the development. I mean, the way you developed it just wasn't, it didn't really answer the question. The question was, would society function better without such rules and regulations? And all you really told me is that it would be affected, but you didn't really tell me how. And then you just, you mentioned YouTube, but the way you're developing this argument is just not clear. Okay, so this needed some work for me. You needed to explain, hang on. You needed to explain that society does function better because of such rules and why. All right, so just saying that such rules exist and YouTube is an example of them is not enough. We're missing the why, essentially, okay? All right, but on the whole, it was a nice essay, so let's go to your next one. Okay, great. It's the calorie sources for men. Fantastic. Let's see. The bar chart illustrates the quantity of calorie intake. Well, it's not really the quantity. It's actually the percentage. There it is, percentage, which is different than quantity, so be careful. You could have said the proportion as well. So the bar chart illustrates the proportion of calorie intake by UK males at 3 different periods of life. The source of calories divided in 4 categories. Fine. The most common source of calorie between 0 and 24 years old is by far dairy products, representing over 40% of the total without van. This is followed by meat, vegetables, and pulses, which account for 20 and 17% respectively. In the next life period, between 25 and 49 years old, meat is the major source of calories. A half of the total calories comes from the, And I wouldn't even have said a half. I would have said half of the total calories come from this group of food, whereas pulses represent, with no S here, just 1/10 of it. In the last period analyzed, pulses are the biggest group of calorie intake without the S, while vegetables are the lowest representative group. Overall, dairy and vegetables consumption decreases as UK males are getting older. In addition, meat has the greatest importance as a calorie source, has the greatest here. as a calorie source in the middle age group, likewise pulses in the older group. Okay, this was also all really, really, really well done, but then something happened here that I have a little issue with. You said that they decrease as males are getting older. That might be true, but we don't really know that, because what this really is it's a static chart, and it looks like they just asked, you know, maybe like 50 people between 0 to 24 and 50 in the next age group and 50 in the next age group, and they came up with some conclusions. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, for example, these people, when they get older, that they will definitely, you know, increase their meat intake and decrease their dairy intake. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you're not following the same people over their lifespan, and so you can't really say that they decrease as they're getting older, because nobody is getting older here. You can, what you need here essentially is language of comparison, but not really talking about change over time, because we don't really know that for sure. I know that's a little abstract, but I hope it makes sense. On the whole, I liked this quite a bit. You could have added a little more information if you're aiming for like a really high score. Like you could have talked about, for example, like, you know, how some of these compare to each other, that like this is half of this. But on the whole, I liked it. So well done. Keep on writing. Send all these back to us corrected, and of course send back your new essays, and I will be waiting for them. So with that, that's the end of this video correction, and good luck writing.